We'll start with the first few questions. Here in the front.
Roy, hello. Nick Collins from Sky Sports News. Gareth Bale was suggesting maybe Wales play with more passion than English players when they put their national shirt on. What would you say to that?
I don't have anything to say to it, really. Is this working? Yes, it's working. Yeah. I mean, these are... I don't really like to comment on things other people have said. We're perfectly satisfied with the passion that we bring to our games, and we certainly don't have any doubts ourselves about our passion, our desire, our commitment, our wish to do well in the tournament. So if other people have another opinion and think that they're better at it, then that's fine by me, but it's certainly not something that I really believe is worthy of comment, if I'm to be brutally honest.
How tempted are you to keep...
Please use the microphone, please.
How tempted are you to keep the same team, given the performance, even if the result wasn't all you wanted, but the performance perhaps was?
Yeah, it was a good performance, certainly for 92 minutes, but the last minute, of course, took away the result that we were really desperately hoping for and we believe that we deserved. But that's football, these things happen. So I was very satisfied with the team, and I've also been extremely satisfied with the performances of the other players in training, and the two that had a chance to come on the other night. So options are open to me. I'm pleased to have those options. I'm grateful that we have so many good players available for selection and so many players who want to play. So people will find out tomorrow night what the decision is, but certainly I'm satisfied with everything that's gone on so far in terms of our preparation, and the only blot on the horizon was what we saw as a potential victory was taken away from us in the last minute of the game.
Wayne, you've played in England-Wales games before. What makes them special, and how much more dangerous are Wales these days than perhaps they were when you faced them in those qualifiers a few years ago?
I think the tournament makes it obviously more of a special game for both of us, but you know, we know it's there's 3 points at stake. It's you know, two British teams, and it's going to be an interesting game, and we're looking forward to it. We've prepared for it, and you know, I'm sure we'll give everything to try and get 3 points.
In the front.
Rob Phillips, BBC Wales. Wayne, do you think some of the statements come from the Wales camp have tried to wind up England players? And if so, has it succeeded?
I'm sure you'll have to ask the Wales players that. I think we've been preparing for this game, as we always do, behind closed doors, and all the information we need. We've worked on a training pitch or in meetings, and then I'm sure you'll have to ask the Wales lads what they mean by the comments, because it's them who's coming out with them, and we're just focusing on preparing for the game.
Sorry, gentleman over there.
Sindre Murtnes from the Norwegian Broadcasting Corporation. Wayne Rooney, you came here. You came to the Euros in 2004 as one of the world's greatest talents. How will you compare that role with the pressure you're facing today?
It's different, of course. When I broke into the team, I was the youngest player in the squad, and today I'm the oldest player in the squad. So it's a different, obviously, role which I'm playing now, and something I'm enjoying, and I'm enjoying it more so now than I was in 2004.
Gentleman in the front.
Thank you very much. Gabriel Clark, ITV. One for Wayne, please. Well, Wayne, before this tournament, Wales talked up the pressure on England. They've done that this week as well. What needs to be the mentality?
I think that's the same mentality as we have for Russia. We've got three games in this group, 2 left, and we're preparing for every game the same. We're not going to prepare differently because we're playing Wales, and we know a lot more of their players. They play in the Premier League. It's the same preparation for this game, whether it's Wales, Russia or Slovakia. So we're doing our job professionally, we're preparing well, and it's down to us as players now. We've done all our work on the training pitch. It's down to us as players to go out and do it on the pitch.
Hi, John Murray from the BBC, over to your left. Could I ask you both, can you take anything from the relatively recent experience of having played a couple of matches against Scotland in terms of everything that surrounded it, even though obviously they were friendly matches?
No, I don't think so, because I agree with Wayne that, you know, tournament matches are something very special. There was a lot of hype around the Scotland game, like there is, of course, around this one, but this is more special because this is in a tournament, an important tournament, where both Wales and ourselves have worked very, very hard to qualify for and have been looking forward to for a long time. The other was just a bragging rights situation when you play Scotland or Ireland, and they've been good games, those games against Scotland and Ireland, and tough games for us. But the game tomorrow night is very different because, as Wayne rightly said, this is a tournament and there are such important points at stake here, whereas all that was available to us when we played Scotland, for example, was the bragging rights that we won the game.
Yes, one for Roy, please. Roy, just in terms of Wales, they've done a lot of straight talking in the build-up. Do you expect them to play that way? What do you expect them to do tactically?
I think they'll play like they've been playing for quite a long period of time now with Chris Coleman, and they've been playing that way very successfully too. So we're not anticipating that there'll be any vast changes in their style of play or in the personnel that they've been using. So I don't think we'll be surprised particularly by either their lineup or what they try to do when they've got the ball and when they don't have the ball. Unfortunately, we might not be able to spring surprises either, because they know our players and they know the type of football that we play. The talking, I've got to say, surprises me that people are focusing so much on it. Both Wayne and I have been in football a long time, and if we were really taking seriously and thinking about what people are saying in the other team or what they're purported to be saying in the other team, and allowed that in any way to affect our concentration on what we're doing, then we'd be very ashamed of ourselves. So I'm a little bit surprised that those questions are coming our way, because talk is talk and action on the field is action on the field.
Hello, from VG in Norway. Wayne, for Wales, this is one of the biggest games in their history. How do you feel this is a special game, and how are you going to stop Gareth Bale?
I think, of course, it's an important game for us. As I said before, there's 3 points up for grabs, and it's important that we get them 3 points. And in terms of Gareth Bale, I think he's a fantastic player. But Wales have got a lot of good players in the team, so it's not England v Gareth Bale, it's England v Wales, and we'll have to stop a few of their players if we want to win the game.
Hi. Rory with the Press Association. Question for Roy. With it been two British teams and people talking it up as a derby kind of atmosphere, of course it won't be refereed by a British referee, and it's at a tournament setting. Are you concerned perhaps that the refereeing of the game might get away from the teams in terms of free kicks, yellow cards, potentially red cards?
What do you say about the referee's Bruck, isn't it, from Germany, if I'm mistaken?
Correct, yeah.
One of the best referees in Europe, as far as I know. I think he's refereed games of ours before and refereed them extremely well. I don't have any fears about the refereeing ever at this level of competition. I think so far, I must say, I think the refereeing in the games I've watched, albeit they've been on television, have been extremely well refereed, and I have no concerns about that. Derby atmosphere, yeah, that's great. I think many people in England and Great Britain are certainly looking forward to this game. We certainly are, and perhaps even around the world. The fact that it is a game between brothers, if you like, it adds spice to it, it adds interest, and that's something which I can only welcome, really. It's if anything, it heightens the occasion rather than lessens it. And it doesn't alter the fact that whichever team is going to win the game will have to do it on the field of play during the 92, 93, 95 minutes, and they'll have to do it by scoring more goals than the opposition, because whatever you like to say, right, or whatever we like to talk about, the reality of football always rests on that patch of green between 90 and 95 minutes.
Roy, two things about Chris Coleman, someone you had as a player. Did you see what he could do as a manager even then? And would you say that his side are under less pressure than yours, given the opening results?
If I take the second question first, that's obvious that they are under less pressure, because normally when you win a game and 3 teams qualify from the group, you're basically qualified the moment you win a game, and they've won one and we haven't. So there's no doubt that the answer to that question is that they are under less pressure to win the game. I would love to say to you, yes, when I first met Chris Coleman and worked with him, I saw him as a future trainer, but I think we worked together for about 2.5 weeks, and I think he was injured for part of that time, so I will be taking on and giving myself powers that I don't really have.
Wayne's Chris Wathen from the Western Mail, Wales Online. How many Wales players will get in the England team?
I don't know, I think that's something you'll have to ask Roy.
I'll answer that question. I'll answer that question. I think that's a question that, you know, people like yourself, you know, a journalist and in the mass media, and maybe many a fan will be asking. But I've got to be honest with you, I've never ever, as a coach of a team, ever once considered which of these players will get into our team and which of our players will get into their team. It's a matter of total disinterest to me, because none of those Welsh players are available to play for England. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to throw the question back at you and say I'll leave you to come up with the answer to that, and you can decide, and you can even, if you like, have a little quiz amongst yourselves and put your teams together, and I'll be interested to see what results you come up with. But as far as Wayne and I are concerned, you know, we are here today doing our job here for UEFA, the competition, talking about the game, and in particular here to talk about England. So I'm afraid I'll have to leave that question with you, interesting though it may be.
Next question.
Okay, we'll conduct Daly's briefing behind the curtains.
Thanks very much.